Welcome back. In this video we're going to discuss edge locations. So first we talked about regions and how AWS is geographically spread across different regions across the globe, and then within each region there are availability zones or data centers that service each of the services, and you need to be conscious of certain services and make sure that they go into the correct availability zones, and that you maybe need multiple availability zones for redundancy and high availability. Now the final major piece of the AWS infrastructure puzzle is its network of edge locations. An edge location is a site where AWS deploys physical server infrastructure to provide low latency user access to Amazon-based data. While this definition is correct, but it does sound very similar to the way you would define any other AWS data center, doesn't it? The important difference is that your garden variety data centers are designed to offer the full range of AWS services, including the complete set of EC2 instant types and the network infrastructure customers would need to shape their compute environments. Edge locations, on the other hand, are much more focused. They have a much smaller set of roles and hardware, and will therefore stock much narrower set of hardware. So what actually happens at those edge locations? You can think of them as a frontline resource for directing the kind of network traffic that can most benefit from speed. Perhaps the best known tenant of the edge locations is CloudFront, Amazon's content delivery network service. How does that work? Let's say you're hosting large media files in AWS. If users would have to retrieve the files directly from the single availability zone each time they have a request, especially to end users living continents away from the media file's location, it would be relatively slow. But if you could store cache copies of the most popular files on servers located geographically close to the users, then you wouldn't have to wait for the original file to be retrieved, but could be enjoying the cache copy in a fraction of the time. In addition to CloudFront, there are other AWS services that make use of edge locations. Some examples are Amazon's Route 53 domain name system administration tool for managing domain registrations and traffic routing. AWS Shield, it's a managed service for countering the threats of distributed denial of service attacks against your AWS-based infrastructure. AWS Web Application Firewall, a managed service for protecting web applications from web-based threats, also is utilized out in the edge. And Lambda Edge, a tool designed to use the serverless applications. We'll be discussing this service in more detail later. But they also all take advantage and reside in the edge locations. In addition to the fleet of regular edge locations, Amazon has further enhanced CloudFront functionality by adding what it's called a regional edge cache. The idea is that CloudFront served objects are maintained in edge locations only as long as there's a steady flow of requests. Once the rate of new requests drops off, an object will be deleted from the cache, and future requests will need to travel all the way back to the origin server in the origin availability zone. Regional edge cache locations, on which there are currently 9 worldwide, can offer a compromise solution. Objects rejected by the edge locations can now be moved to the regional edge cache. There aren't as many such locations worldwide, so the response times for many user requests won't be as fast as an edge location, but they'll still probably be faster than having to go all the way back to the origin availability zone. So by design, regional edge cache locations are more capable of handling less popular content, but still, keep it a little closer to the users than from the availability zone. So AWS looks to the edge location first, then the regional cache location next, and then finally, if it can't find it there, it will go to the origin server in the origin availability zone and get the actual file or object then from there. So it has a flow. Hopefully, the most popular is going to be stay fresh in the edge locations and be fast for the users. The next used or popular files will be in the regional edge cache, and then finally the least used files, very rare or not used often, files will be located in the origin server in the origin availability zone. So next we'll talk about the AWS shared responsibility model, and we'll catch you in the next video.